And welcome, sports fans, to today's Sports Roundtable. And glad you joined us for today's show. We've got a lot to get to for today. It's been a busy week, including this weekend. Labor Day weekend is crazy with high school football that we're bringing to you here on YHC, which we'll get into those contests here in a few moments. But big night in high school football last night as Piggott got underway with their home opener, as well as all of Arkansas. Arkansas now coming into their first week of high school football, as they trail Missouri in 2 weeks, by 2 weeks getting their football season underway. But all the fall sports underway, which we'll get to in our show as well for today. So and college football gets underway this week, a couple games over the first few nights, and we're also going to touch on some of our local teams' games for this weekend. Big games to look forward to, as well as all of college football for the weekend. So a lot going on this weekend, Labor Day weekend. Hopefully everyone enjoys it. Looks like it's going to be great for the weekend into Monday. So everyone enjoy everything that's going on for the weekend. And if you're looking for some football, we've got it for you here on YHC. Certainly for the high school football. We had 2 games last night, which we'll be replaying over the weekend, and also one later on this afternoon, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So big night last night. We brought a game to you live here on YHC, New Madrid County Central and Dexter, and we'll talk about that and have some highlights on that as well here in a few moments. And also we're going to have Piggott football coach Michael Harrell joining us in our next segment to talk about their win last night. The Piggott Mohawks coming back with a very strong team this year after a playoff berth and even a playoff win on last year's team. And we'll talk to Coach Harrell in a few moments about that win last night in Piggott over Hazen. So big night last night, and getting into the games from last night, we'll first start off with the game that we brought to you last night. Dexter, New Madrid County Central, and Dexter rolls 38-0 in that contest last night. No problem for the Bearcats, as Dexter now moves up to 2-1 on the year. So looking pretty good early on for the Dexter Bearcats. And taking a look at some of the highlights from last night. Taking a look here. And here early on, these are going to be in a little bit of slow-mo here on the first ones, but Gray Palmer getting a nice pass down the field. New Madrid, sorry about that. And New Madrid getting some plays down the field early on, just wasn't able to get it in the end zone here on the same drive. A little miscommunication on the play call, and Palmer goes down for a sack, end up turning the ball over on downs. And here, nice defense by New Madrid, chasing down Ben Sindel in the backfield after Dexter already getting a score so far in this game. And here, nice defense in the backfield by Dexter once again, covering up the tailback for a loss. And here, Gray Palmer trying to get some space to pass, but he's covered up by a host of Bearcats, bringing him down. And here we got this is coming off an interception by Seth Rogers, and he almost goes the distance, but Gray Palmer saves the touchdown. Here's Sindel looking for the touchdown pass, and a nice pass right there at the goal line for the Bearcats. And here's Sindel rolling out, and throws the receiver, turns it over with that. No matter getting a nice interception there. Here's Sindel looking down the field. Gabe Jackson goes up and pulls it down on a 3rd and 11 pass play. Big play there for the Bearcats here later on. Sindel looking down the middle of the field. Gabe Jackson pulls it in for the touchdown.
Looks to his left. Going deep, intercepted by Trevor McDonald. He got position.
Interception down the field.
Looking to his right, intercepted by Trevor McDonald.
Looking down the seam.
Hand off to Strong. He cuts it back up the middle, into the secondary and through, and he's going to be in for a touchdown.
Line of scrimmage all the way into the end zone.
Quick pass out to the right, intercepted by Jet Featherston. He's got some block. Warrior up into that end zone or not. They're going to give to the up back, McMullen, the senior fullback, and he's going to get a touchdown tonight.
Up the middle, goes in for the score.
Phillips again. Underneath, Jet Featherston steps in front, and this is going to be a foot race. Featherston's going to make it to the end zone.
After the pick six, and the Bearcats victorious in that game over New Madrid County Central last night. So quite a showing by the Bearcats, going to 2-1 on the year, and got an impressive start so far with wins over St. Genevieve and New Madrid County Central last night. So we'll see what happens going forward with the Bearcats. Pretty good start. Always a tough early schedule. Their loss was Poplar Bluff last week, so we'll see what happens going forward with the Bearcats. And now let's take a look at some other games from the area last night. Taking a look, we've got Piggott over Hazen, and that was a 24-14 score. Piggott defeating Hazen and got out and scored 24 quick points, 24 first half points. Was able to hold off Hazen with that 10-point victory, and really became a defensive battle in the second half as both teams didn't move the ball great, but some pretty good defense. By both teams there in the second half, but the Piggott Mohawks pulled out that victory over Hazen in their season opener at home at Parker Field last night, and we're going to talk about that game with Michael Harrell coming up in our next segment. So check that out over our next segment with Michael Harrell. And take a look at another game. We've got Malden over Portageville in a rout 42-14. The Malden Green Wave answer back well from a loss from Crothersville last week with that Portageville victory. And moving on to 2-1 are the Malden Green Wave. And Poplar Bluff defeating St. Charles handily 45-7. Poplar Bluff moves to 3-0 with three decisive victories over Riverview Gardens, Dexter, and last night St. Charles. So the Poplar Bluff Mules looking really impressive early on this season. And Jackson over Sykeston last night, and Cooper Callis, a big night, which we'll talk about a little later, but big victory for Jackson over Sykeston, 55-8. Also, Kelly over St. Vincent, 38-6. 38-6 in that victory for Kelly. Cape Central over Farmington, big district showdown there. Probably has some district seeding indications for later on in the year as Cape Central edged Farmington 40-35 in that Class 4 showdown. And Hayti over Chaffee 49-9. 49-9. I believe I have that right. 49-9. Hayti over Chaffee. Hayti, one of the dominant teams early on this year, getting dominant victories all the way since week 1, 3-0, and looking really good so far. The Hayti Indians. Charleston defeating the Central Homeschool 47-0 in a shutout. Valley Catholic and Crothersville, big matchup between those two powerhouses, and Valley Catholic edging Crothersville 39-34, and quite a comeback effort by the Crothersville Tigers. They were down, I believe, 39-7 at half, stormed back and scored 27 second half points, coming up a bit short of Valley Catholic in that game last night. Valley Catholic having somewhat of a down year last year. I think they won upwards to 5-6 straight state championships in Class 1 in Missouri, and only made it to the semifinal round last year. So looks like they answer back with a good team. Crothersville looking good early on as well, but certainly a good matchup in week 3 last night between those two. Also from last night, Perryville over Fredericktown, 28-7. North County over East Carter County, 5-4. Now to getting into some girls softball from yesterday, Friday. Liberty out of Wentzville over Van Buren, 7-6. Notre Dame over Van Buren, 8-3. And in high school baseball in the Stoddard County Conference, Bell City over Puxico, 15-0. Southern Reynolds over South Pemiscot, 10-3. Campbell over Twin Rivers, 9-2. And in boys high school soccer, Jackson over Poplar Bluff, 4-1. Notre Dame over Carbondale, 3-2. Saxony Lutheran over Hannibal, 4-1. And in girls high school volleyball in the Stoddard County Conference, Bloomfield defeated Woodland in 3 sets. Notre Dame defeating Bernie in 2 sets. Bernie over St. Vincent in 2 sets. Notre Dame over St. Vincent in 2 sets. St. Genevieve over Bernie in 2 sets. And St. Genevieve over Notre Dame also in 2 sets. And those are your scores, fall sports scores from yesterday in the area. So a whole lot of games taking place over the last few days, and we'll bring them to you each week right here on the Sports Roundtable each Saturday. And talking about the games that we've done that you can catch replays over the weekend. Last night, the Nevada County Central-Dexter broadcast. You can watch that replay coming up next at 11 o'clock. We usually do that at Saturday at noon, but we got a game this afternoon, which we'll talk about in a moment. But that replay will be coming up next Saturday at 11 a.m., also Sunday at 4. Sunday at 4, Saturday at 11, and Sunday at 4, that New Madrid County Central and Dexter replay here on YHC. And you can go straight to YHCTV.com right now and watch that on our website. Catch that on our website at YHCTV.com. And also, the last night's broadcast, we brought it to you live on our website at YHCTV.com. You could watch that live last night. You can watch all of Piggott's home games that we bring live to you. Live on YHCTV.com this season, and a couple of them will be on TV as well, which we'll get to later in the season. And you can catch that replay from last night, Hazen and Piggott. You can catch that Sunday at 7 and Tuesday at 6:30. Sunday at 7 and Tuesday at 6:30, the Hazen and Piggott replay. And today's game, we got a game this afternoon, Saturday at 2 p.m., Carnahan versus Kennett. And that'll be live today, Saturday at 2 p.m. You can catch that replay Sunday at 1. Sunday at 1. So there on Sunday, you can get the replay of this afternoon's game, Carnahan Kennett at 1, New Madrid County Central and Dexter at 4, and Hazen and Piggott at 7. So a lot of replays coming to you Sunday. We're even going to play those on Monday as well for Labor Day to get your football fix for Labor Day as well. So a whole lot of contests playing this weekend, including one more live broadcast we got for you here Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. And we're going to take our first break and be back with our guest. We've got Michael Harrell, Piggott football coach, coming up with us in our next segment, and we'll be back with him coming up.
At Ag Explore, we're farmers too. So we know that farming's never been a 9-to-5 job. Just like the farmer, we work overtime to bring you whatever it takes. Solutions like InZone help you retain 47% more nitrogen with an overall average increase of 12 bushels per acre. Imagine what InZone can do for you. Ag Explore.
They didn't lay down and quit.
At New Wave, we're proud to call the communities we serve our home. Our customers tell us having a local office is important to them. That's why we maintain dozens of local offices and employ over 500 skilled employees, all focused on delivering the best customer experience. We don't just connect communities, we connect to our communities, helping support the schools, organizations, and events that support all of us. Thank you for choosing New Wave Communications, your local provider of internet, TV, and phone.
Well, I love it.
I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
It's suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Chris Brannon in Dexter today.
For more than 75 years, the law firm of Crow, Reynolds, Shetley,
And welcome back. And now we're along with Piggott football coach Michael Harrell over the phone with us. And Michael, it's good to have you on this morning, especially after a win last night, a hard-fought win over Hazen there at Parker Field last night.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, Tyler. It's good to be here today.
Sure. Michael, you jumped out on Hazen last night. I believe it was, 24-7 early in the game. I believe that was the halftime score. And, that second half, boy, it was quite a fight with the Hazen Hornets and was really competitive in the second half.
Yeah, the boys come out fired up, ready to go. Opening kickoff, went down there and boy, had laid a good lick. They coughed the ball up. We got the ball. 4 plays later, we score. We in the end zone. It's 8-0. First couple minutes of the game, battled with them. Both defenses played really hard. There's traded punts there for a few drives, and then we scored again. I think it made it 16-0, and then right before half, they threw a pass and went right through the hands of one of our guys. We had great coverage and just one of those plays where it bounced off a hand and ball popped up in the air and guy scored, touchdown, made it 16-8. And our boys responded right back on the next drive with about a minute to go for half, marched down and scored, made it 24-8. And I really thought we had them on the ropes at halftime. Their body language was down, and I thought we really had them on the ropes and wanted to come out in the third quarter and put them out. But I tell you what, my hat's off to the Hazen coaching staff and those players. They come out in the third quarter, stopped us on that opening drive, and it was a ball game the rest of the game. It really was. Now they played a great defensive ball game.
Sure, the first half we saw a lot of offense from Piggott, putting up some points even on the first, the opening kickoff. Y'all recover the kickoff and punch it in for 8 points at that point. So you couldn't have started the season better than that, Michael. You kick off and recover it and score a touchdown. So it was off. You got off to a great start last night.
Yeah, that's right. We did. I'm excited about this season when we got a great bunch of kids. I tell you, I left last night after the ball game, and I was a little disappointed a little bit, but I guess that's the expectations we have right now. We just had a 10-point win, and I went home feeling a little, man, we left a lot on the field. But I tell you what, the kids play hard. They did everything we asked them to do. I got to make some better calls coaching wise. I got to catch things a little bit better in the game. Their defense, their linebackers were doing some stuff that I didn't catch in the game. But we'll get that fixed, get those adjustments made, and we're looking forward to going to Porterville next Friday night.
Sure. You got Porterville Bulldogs on the road there in Porterville. We'll be on hand for that one to bring that one not only on the website, but here on Channel 21 as well, live from Porterville. So really excited about that. Y'all have been matching up pretty good the last few years, so we'll be looking forward to that. Be looking forward to that matchup next week. And speaking more of last night, Michael, that second half, the Pickett's defense really showed up well. Y'all got a lot of stuffs on some fourth down plays, some short yardage situations that the defense came up big. So it wasn't like the effort certainly wasn't there and the execution wasn't there from your defense in that second half last night. They had some big stops.
Man, I tell you what, we held them to I think they had 68 yards total offense. Our defense played lights out. Coverage was there. The front seven did a great job. Super, super proud of our defensive effort. Man, I feel like we can match up with pretty much anybody defensively. And even offensively, it wasn't effort. It was offense that second half. Man, it was just I just didn't catch. They made a great adjustment at halftime. Their coaching staff did, and I've got to do a better job of catching it and adjusting my offense. So it's all fixable. Was super proud of the kids. I tell you what, we had some juniors that really stepped up and stood out last night. I felt like had great games, and so man, we're really excited about the season. We really are.
Yeah, you're coming off a great season last year, Michael, getting a playoff win and playing the number 1 ranked team in the state in Prescott, where your season finally came to an end. So you bring a lot of kids back from last year's team. That's one thing. Have you, as your coaching staff, your team really realized that? These teams are going to start noticing Piggott, from last year. So, you're not going to be sneaking up on anybody coming into this season. They're going to be well prepared for you and well scouted. So, it's going to be a different this year. That the Piggott Mohawks, they're going to know you're coming.
That's right. We're not sneaking up on anybody this year. Right now, we're hooting this guy. I think we're preseason top 10 right now. I mean, there's a lot of high expectations, and we're not sneaking up on anybody. Everybody's got their eye on us and got us circled. But I wouldn't have it any other way. That's why we want it. We want to expect to win, and we want our guys to expect to win. So we just got to buckle down and get it done. And just see, we got to stay healthy. That's the big thing. Big thing last year, we stayed healthy all year long. And, school our size, you got to stay healthy. So last night we come out pretty healthy. Got one guy kind of got a bummed up ankle a little bit. But other than that, we're coming out of last night healthy and with the win and learn from our mistakes and just keep getting better every day.
Sure. Yeah, we're looking forward to the season Michael, we're going to be on hand to bring those games here on YHC as we do. We're going to be bringing all the games that we do live on our website, and even, I believe, 2 or 3 here on Channel 21 live each night. So it's a big season for Mohawk football, and we always enjoy being along for the ride. And looking forward to your next game next week, which will be down in Portageville with you, and looking forward to that matchup. And, of course, conference play. Once we get into the 3A3, that competitive conference with some big games at home this year, big home games in the conference this year, Michael.
Yeah, we've got some huge. We're on the road the next 2 weeks at Portageville, at Rector, and then we start off with just a brutal, our conference top to bottom. Everybody's good. We got Osceola at home, Rivercrest at home, and then Newport at home. And last year we went to those places, and we come out of those 2 wins, 1 loss. So, we gotta have something like that this year at home. Osceola's, they're a lot better than they have been the last few years. They got a new coach. Rivercrest is stacked up, loaded. Newport's still good, and then you still got Walnut Ridge, Manila, Hoxie. They're all very, very good football programs, very well coached. And so every week it's going to be a battle, and we're glad you guys are with us for the ride to have this and let people be able to watch the ball games and stuff. So we appreciate you guys, Tyler.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that, Michael. And, you're just getting started, week 1. You're just getting started, wind under your belt, which that's all you can ask for each game. And we're looking forward to the rest of the season, including next week in Portageville, Friday night at Portageville for your week 2 matchups. So, Michael, good luck for the rest of the season. We'll be along for the ride, and good luck to all your boys, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you throughout the season.
All right, buddy. Hey, Tyler, I appreciate it, man.
Okay, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
And Michael Harrell coming in with us this morning. Appreciate him speaking with us, and we'll try to speak with him throughout the season as the Piggott Mohawk football is well underway now, with Arkansas finally getting underway. Missouri moving their season up a couple times, so a couple seasons out in front of Arkansas, but Arkansas well underway with their football season now, and look forward to that matchup next week as Piggott takes on Portageville, which we'll talk about our broadcast schedule. We were talking about the games we got coming up, so let's go ahead and take a look at our broadcast schedule coming up. As next week, or actually this weekend, first start off with Saturday's game here this afternoon, Carnahan at Kennett. We'll bring that live to you here on Channel 21 and YHCTV.com this weekend, so look forward to that here this Saturday afternoon. And next Friday, we've got the Piggott Mohawks and the Portageville Bulldogs, and that'll be our only broadcast next week, so that will be live here on Channel 21 and YHCTV.com. So I look forward to putting Piggott and Portageville on the tube for live football Friday from Portageville. So look forward to that next Friday night. And the following Friday, we've got Sikeston at Dexter. This is going to be a matchup here, folks. Sikeston usually gets the better of Dexter, but I tell you, this year, these teams are matching up pretty well, it looks like. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have a battle between Sikeston and Dexter. Pretty big rivalry there, and we'll be bringing that here on Channel 21 and the website at YHCTV.com. Then a little later, we've got Crothersville and Dexter conference matchup for those two, and then Osceola and Piggott. You can catch that on the 22nd. That'll be on YHCTV.com there. And then later on, Dexter and Kennett, Rivercrest and Piggott, Newport and Piggott, and Redbud, Illinois, and Portageville. So those are our next coming matchups that we'll be broadcasting here on YHC. So look forward to those games coming up, as we've got plenty. And we'll be looking forward to each one of them here on your hometown channel. And take a look at those matchups, kind of the briefs, sports briefs coming from those games the other last night. Dexter shutting out New Madrid County Central, as we had that last night, 38-0, and they go to 2-1 on the season. And Dexter's next matchup next week, they play Drexel and Miami. Drexel and Miami are combining schools to form a team, and they are playing at Bolivar at Southwest Baptist University next Saturday afternoon in Bolivar. So I think Drexel and Miami are right up in the Kansas City area, and if not Kansas City, up in the northwest part of the state. So they're meeting in Bolivar, kind of like halfway between here and there. Pretty long ways even for halfway, but Dexter probably will be favored in that game. Got a chance to go up to 3-1 on the year, and Pretty good start for the Bearcats to potentially go 3-1 so far. And other games to look at from last night, Jackson's Cooper Callis. Big night for him, for Jackson, throwing 7 first-half touchdowns. Not a game for the first half, and he just let loose last night, and they piled it up over Sykeston, winning that game 55-8, but Cooper Callis putting on a show. Probably the top quarterback in southeast Missouri. Him, and you throw in there Charles Galladay of Crothersville. Yeah, very good quarterback there in Jackson, and Cooper Callis, and lit it up last night in that game over Sykeston. Jackson pretty much back. They're going to make waves in that district. I know Poplar Bluff and Jackson sharing that Class 5 district. They should battle it out. We might see them come district time later on this season. But big effort by Cooper Callis last night for Jackson. And also last night, Crothersville falling short of the state-ranked Valley Catholic. And Crothersville down 39-7 at half. Fought their way back, lost 39-34. Don't know if that was a account of Valley Catholic maybe taking their foot off the gas in the second half, but they did open the door in the least. They did to Crothersville, and Crothersville made a run of it, just fell a bit short late in the game, but Crothersville certainly a team to look out for later on in the year come district time. Got that win over Malden last week, which has been maybe 5-6 seasons since they've got that win over Malden. So right now they're in the driver's seat of that Class 2 District 1 for home field advantage throughout the district tournaments. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what Crothersville does. We'll have Crothersville there on the schedule later on, as you saw with that conference game against Dexter. So Crothersville, one of the more talented teams here in southeast Missouri, and we'll be looking forward to having them on YHC in probably about 3 weeks, I believe it was. 3 weeks we'll have them here on your hometown channel. So those are kind of the sports briefs from the last night. Not very many competitive games other than that Cape Central and Farmington game. That went all the way down to the wire in that Class 4 District 1 matchup. But quite a few blowouts last night, which we'll probably see some more competitive games in the weeks to come. So we'll see how that plays out in Week 4 of high school football, Missouri high school football, next week. And we're going to take another break and be back with some state rankings for Missouri. Got some new state rankings. Some of our local teams starting to move up in those, and we'll be back with those coming up.
McVeigh and Shear LLP has served the legal needs of southeast Missouri. Located at 308 1st Street in Kennett, Crow, Reynolds, Shetley, McVeigh and Shear LLP is a full-service law firm providing representation in a wide range of areas, such as personal injury, workers' compensation, family law, criminal law, probate, business, and estate planning. For all your legal needs, call Crow, Reynolds, Shetley, McVeigh and Shear LLP at 573-888-4664.
And welcome back, and now take a look at those state rankings for Missouri high school football. And starting out with Class 1, Hamilton Penny hanging on to their number 1 ranking. And Valley Catholic, they're at number 2. 3, Monroe City. 4, Marceline. 5, Lincoln. 6, Hayti. Hayti moving up to number 6. Actually, they held on to number 6 from last week. 7, Western. 8, Pierce City. 9, Thayer. And 10, Lockwoods. We got 2 local teams, somewhat local there, with Thayer and Hayti. And we'll probably see Hayti moving up. Boy, I tell you, if they keep dominating week in and week out like they have been, I wouldn't be surprised to see them in that top 5 here in the next few weeks. But it does take teams ahead of them to take a loss, typically. So we'll see what happens there. But Hayti wouldn't be surprised if they're in that top 5 pretty soon. And in Class 2, Lamar with the six-time state champion in a row. Lamar number 1, no surprise there. 2, Trinity. 3, Mountain Grove. 4, Lutheran North. 5, Ava. 6, Centralia. 7, South Callaway. 8, Cardinal Ritter. 9, Brentwood. And 10, Lexington. And as I've said, since we've been doing these polls each week, figured Crothersville would have their shot in that top 10, and playing Valley Catholic as tough as they did, especially in the second half last night, maybe they'll crack that top 10 for this next week's poll. But wouldn't be surprised if Crothersville cracks that top 10 here in one of these weeks. They've had a dominant season so far, and just come up a bit short to Valley Catholic last night. And in Class 3, McClure South Berkeley at number 1, 2 Maryville, 3 Blair Oaks, 4 Miller Career Academy, 5 Park Hills Central, 6 Southern Boone, 7 Manette, 8 Mount Vernon, 9 Center, and 10 Seneca. In Class 4, Webb City at number 1, 2 Harrisonville, 3 Carl Junction, 4 Kearney, 5 Hannibal, 6 Parkway Central, 7 Mary Institute of Country Day Schools, 8 Platte County, 9 Ladue, and 10 Parkway North. And in Class 5, Vianney at number 1, 2 Fort Zumwalt North, 3 Staley, 4 Battle, 5 Liberty, 6 Fort Osage, 7 Chaminade, 8 Ozark, 9 Pattonville, and 10 William Rissman. And wouldn't be surprised if we see some of our local teams maybe crack that top 10. Poplar Bluff certainly having a dominant first 3 games. So, you might see them in that top 10. Even Jackson. Jackson's looked really good. They did take a pretty big hit on the chin. I believe that was last week. Man, I can't remember who they played. Played a big team up in St. Louis. Took one on the chin last week, but they've been very good. Very good over the first couple of games. So we might see Poplar Bluff and Jackson in there before you know it. They're in Class 5. And Michael Harrell did mention in our segment that the Piggott Mohawks ranked in Hootens. The Hootens top 10 in Class 3A in Arkansas, ranked at number 9 in the opening poll, and the Hootens poll for the state of Missouri in 3A, and also conference rival Rivercrest there in the rankings as well. I believe they're at 5 or 6. I believe it's 6. Might be wrong. It might be 5. It's either 5 or 6. The Rivercrest Lions there in the 3A3 as well, and it's going to be fun to see how that conference plays out. Piggott's right there in the mix this year. Come away with 3rd place. Last year, their 2 conference losses were by 1 point each. Heartbreakers there. But the Piggott Mohawks going to be right there in the mix and ranked in the state in Class 3A in the Hootens poll, opening up at number 9. So Piggott looking good early on. A lot of expectations, and we'll be looking forward to bringing their home games as well as the Portageville road game is coming Friday here on YHC. So Piggott, a lot of expectations. When you have a strong season like you did last year, playoff win, and bringing all but maybe 4 or 5 players back from last year's team, there is some expectation there. But those kids are certainly committed, and they've had a great off season, and got a win last night over Hazen. So we'll see how that plays out going forward with the Mohawks. And we're going to take our last break and be back with a little update on everything going on outside of the high school sports and college football. Got underway the last few nights, and we'll get into the games, including our local teams and their matchups this weekend. And we'll be back with that coming up.
When you connect with high-speed internet from New Wave Communications, you unlock all kinds of possibilities. More gaming, more streaming and viewing, more ways to keep in touch, more ways to learn. And best of all, adding New Wave Internet to your current television package won't cost a lot more thanks to New Wave's bundle discounts. In fact, if you're paying another provider for internet, switching to New Wave will probably save you money. Call or go to newwavecom.com to find more ways to bundle and save.
And welcome back. Now let's take a look at some college football matchups taking place today. Some big games here in the Big 12. No, Maryland's not in the Big 12. They're Big 10. Maryland taking on 23rd ranked Texas. That's coming up, I believe, right at noon or around 11:30. That's going to be one of the first games today, Maryland and Texas. Also, we got BYU at 13th ranked LSU, 11th ranked Michigan at 17th ranked Florida. Big 10 versus SEC there, one of the big matchups today. Looking forward to see how that plays out later on this afternoon. Also, Western Michigan at 4th ranked USC, 16th ranked Louisville at Purdue, 3rd ranked Florida State at top ranked Alabama. Big matchup tonight to look forward to. Anytime you get 2 top 5 teams in week 1, it's always a big matchup. I think they're playing that in Georgia, Atlanta. I think they're playing that one in Atlanta. Florida State at Alabama on a neutral field. And Alabama looking strong once again, looking for 5th national championship under Nick Saban. But Jimbo Fisher and the Seminoles, one of the best teams in the country as well, taking on the Crimson Tide. Should be a great one this evening. Also, 22nd ranked West Virginia at 21st ranked Virginia Tech in Plattsburgh. Should be a good matchup there as well. So we'll see how that plays out. Those are the notable games for today. Got some big matchups there. Michigan, Florida, Florida State, Alabama, even West Virginia, Virginia Tech. So some pretty big games to look forward to today to kick off college football. And take a look at our local teams. Local teams got some big matchups today to open out of the gate. This afternoon, actually later on this evening, 6 p.m. start for Southeast Missouri State at Kansas. You can catch that on ESPN3 with the ESPN app. Catch that later on today. SEMO, tough opponent, although Kansas isn't a powerhouse in the Big 12. Still a Big 12 opponent on the road, so SEMO's got their hands full with the Jayhawks later on this evening in Lawrence, Kansas. And also this evening, Arkansas State out of the Sun Belt down in Jonesboro. They're taking on Nebraska, Big Ten opponent. Later on tonight, 7 p.m. start on the Big Ten Network. The Arkansas State Red Wolves, I think, coming off 4 straight Sun Belt titles and looking to have another great season. I think they're picked to be 3rd or 4th in the conference this year, so some of the sports writers not expecting as much out of the Red Wolves this year, but they've certainly been competitive in the conference and look to remain to be a Big Ten opponent later on tonight in Nebraska. So best of luck to our local teams. They got their hands full, as they always do in opening week, playing some of the power conference schools. So we'll see how they do later on this evening for their opening games. And no real surprises over the last few nights. We saw pretty much the teams winning, expected to win over the last few nights. Ohio State got out slow out of the gate the other night, Thursday night against Indiana, but they end up winning decisively, 49-21. Wisconsin got a win last night, no problem over Utah State. Just no real surprises here in the first couple of nights opening up college football. But looking forward to it today. A lot of games taking place, some big games. I tell you, Florida State, Alabama, that's big. Big game. 2 big coaches, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, 2 big programs, and certainly looking forward to that. But we got a lot of football here on YHC for you. We've got 2 games from last night we'll be replaying over the weekend, as well as a live game this afternoon. So look forward to tuning into that this afternoon, 2 p.m. start live here on Channel 21 and YHCTV.com. Carnahan versus Kennett. You can watch that replay Sunday at 1. We've got a slew of games, 3 straight games Sunday afternoon into the evening. Sunday at 1, we'll have this Carnahan versus Kennett broadcast. Sunday at 4, the New Matter County Central and Dexter replay. And at 7, the Hazen and Piggott replay. So 1, 4, and 7, those 3 matchups right in a row. We're probably going to do the same thing through Monday as well for Labor Day. So a lot of games coming to you this weekend. And hopefully enjoy high school football, because that's what you're getting here on YHC for the weekend. And we enjoy it. It's been fun so far. The weather's been great. Hasn't been blistering hot. You actually go out, and I tell you, when we set up these games and get up in the press boxes, it can be miserable, but it's been pretty good so far. We've had a really mild summer, it seems, especially here for August. It's really turned off really nice here in August, and it works out well getting underway with the football season being as nice as it is. So we'll be looking forward to some more football this afternoon, 2 o'clock start. Tommy Jacobs and myself will bring you that play-by-play action from Metz Cherry Stadium in Kennett for Carnahan versus Kennett this afternoon at 2 p.m. So look forward to that, and we will as well. Bring it to you right here on Channel 21 and YHCTV.com. If you want to watch all of our broadcasts, we pretty much have those up, especially if we stream the games. They're pretty much available pretty much that night when we get it up on our website. Just go to our website, YHCTV.com, and you can watch the games there on our website as well. So catch it while you can, here on YHC or our website online. And starting to run out of voice, so I better wrap it up for today. Appreciate Michael Harrell, Piggott football coach, being along with us today after their victory last night over Hazen. Appreciate him coming in. We're going to have guests, try to have a guest each Saturday going forward, so look forward to that. Bringing in sports personalities, sports writers, coaches, that sort of thing throughout the next few weeks, so look forward to that. And that'll wrap it up for today's show. We appreciate you for tuning in as always. Tune in each Saturday morning live at 10 a.m. Replays throughout the weekend and the mid part of next week. And you can watch the replays. Go to the website at yhctv.com if you miss it here on Channel 21. And we'll see you right here each Saturday at 10 a.m. And for myself, Tyler Wagner, wish you to have a great Labor Day weekend. Be safe out there. Looks like it's going to be great. But certainly be safe in your travels. Going to see friends and family. And we'll see you right back here next time on YHC. Take care, everyone.